Hello, welcome to Sam Talks. Before we get into it, just a couple of reminders. This is going to be recorded and this will be available on our webinars guide later on. So with that, I think let's get started. I'm going to share my screen here, as I am already logged into our QA site. So today we're going to talk about what is new from the release that happened yesterday. The first thing to mention is that the home screen now looks a little bit different. There is no more sidebar, and the sidebar was really there so you could toggle through like the different report menus that were available. But now those report menus are in this little drop down here. So you will still have all of your entity report menus. You can view all reports that will be sorted by entity type. And then what is also new is the system reports. Now, these system reports are really there to help SAM leads and anyone with access to these reports sort of see what's going on with the site, see the customization and all of that. The first thing that you'll see is you can see who has login access to your site. There's a few different reports on email. You have a few security related reports. Reports around email importing to see sort of what's going on with that. Lots of different reports on auto actions. Different reports around forms, and then in particular, report with or that shows forms with generate errors, so you can so that's in your visibility. You can take care of them, reach out to SAM support if you need help with that. And then, yeah, again, multiple different reports on forms. You have a tables and fields report here, and a report on templates that are in your site. You'll also notice that all of these system reports have a little memo associated with it to sort of describe the purpose of the report. Scrolling back up here, you still have my tasks. That's not any different. And then you still have quick search up here. That is not any different. Although quick search now looks slightly different when showing you the results. So I'm going to go ahead and type in test here. Yeah, the first thing to notice is that the results are now in like this little striped format, I'm gonna call it. And you'll also notice sort of throughout the site that whatever row your cursor is on has a little hover effect to sort of help you see where your cursor is on the screen, because it's really easy to lose where your cursor is on the screen. You can still click on the entity name to get to the cover page. That is not any different. You still have exact match and active as options. So exact match takes away any results that again do not exactly have the last name of test. So if there were any records that were like testing or anything like that, once I click exact match, those are now gone. But if I uncheck that, they come right back. And then active, it shows you all of the records that are listed as active. But what does that mean? So each record type has a like active family, active child, active person option. And when this is checked, it will only show those records that have that checked. Hopefully that makes sense. Um, and then the last thing or one of the last things to mention here is the results are now in a collapsible card. So if you don't want to see the results, you can hide them here. Oh, I see that there's a question. Oh, okay, sorry. Anyway, I think the last thing to mention here is that when you are on a smaller screen or go between a smaller screen and a bigger screen, these drop down menus and what you have typed in here, they now sync with each other. So if I make the screen smaller, we can see that the drop downs are still the same. Yeah, so now that works as expected. Any questions so far?
No, not yet. Thank you.
No. Okay, cool. I think that is pretty much it for the homepage that I want to go over. And then one of our main focuses for this last release was making SAM more mobile friendly, just in general. So I want to demonstrate that as well, in particular for your families, because those pages were illegible before. So I'm going to expand these results. Let's jump into a family record. Let's go to the Sam Talks one. I'm going to go to checklist because this was one of the pages that we made more mobile friendly. Before we jump into the public checklist, I want to talk about the internal view of the checklist for a second. So I'm going to make the screen a little bit smaller here. So this checklist page before was completely illegible. So if you were on your phone wanting to do something with the checklist, you really couldn't. But now each of the sections has a little scroll bar to it, so you can actually read what is on the screen. And I don't know if you noticed, but the little caret icon to expand and collapse these cards is gone on just the mobile view. Once you go back to a bigger screen, it's still there. And then the badge and then the icons, they are no longer aligned up at the top right corner. They are underneath the checklist section name, again, to sort of take advantage of the screen real estate and to make sure everything's not super squished together. If I scroll over here, the meatball menu for the checklist is still viewable on a smaller screen, so that's good. I'm going to open the sidebar here for a second. And then we did a little bit of work on cleaning up the sidebar here and just renaming the links for more clarity. In particular, this link here, edit and delete sections, was originally titled edit order. And if you're wanting to delete a checklist section, that option was hidden behind edit order. Now it's a little bit more evident what this link actually does. And then if we hop over to the checklist configuration page, and I open up the sidebar, what we did for renaming the links carries over to the configuration page as well. So again, instead of edit order, this now says edit and delete sections. Again, to make it more evident what that link does. Okay, let's open up the public checklist view. So again, this page used to be illegible to families. So if they happen to be on, if they happen to be using SAM on their phone, they really couldn't, because the page content didn't actually take advantage of the full screen real estate. Now it does. Another thing that we did to sort of make SAM more mobile friendly and again, take advantage of the screen real estate that's available is we adjusted the space within the cards. And then also there's less space between the cards as well. Again, so you can get more information on this. So you can get more information on the screen on a smaller screen. Again, the little caret icon is gone on a smaller screen. And the status badge is underneath the checklist section title instead of over to the right here. And then let's take a look at the family portal as well. Yeah, again, really any page that you gave to your families was really not readable, and now they are. I think one thing that I want to mention here is the little hamburger menu for the sidebar, if that is enabled on a page that you give to families, is viewable now. Before it was kind of squished into Sam's face there. But again, now you can see it. Scrolling down here, make sure I don't miss anything. Again, where possible, you will get this little scroll bar so you can sort of see what's going on. Or yeah, the scroll bar happens when the form is too wide for the page content. Again, instead of making it illegible, there's a scroll bar. And then the changes that we made to the space within the card and between the cards also carries over to, I'm gonna call it like the regular view of SAM or the internal view. So let's go back to the family cover page here as an example. Yeah, and again, we can see that, again, the spacing is a little, or the spacing has been decreased again to maximize the amounts of stuff on the screen without making it illegible. And then again, we get the little scroll bar. The meatball menu is visible. And then another quick thing that I want to mention is that if your form has a template at the top or the bottom, and it is, again, too wide for the screen size that you are on, you'll get a little scroll bar for that. As well. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it on what we did to make SAM more mobile friendly. So I am going to make the screen a little bit bigger now. Any questions, comments on that?
No, not on that.
No? Okay, cool. Next, I want to jump into settings and forms and talk about what is different with the forms list and then also with form customizer as well. So lots of stuff going on here. The first thing that I want to mention is, again, you get this little stripes design, which means that your cursor will hover over the row that it's on, again, to help you see where you are on the screen. Each section now has a collapsible card. So if you don't want to see forms based on family, for example, you can click on that to hide it from visibility temporarily. Again, you can click on it again to expand the card. You also have some new filters and some sidebar links that are gone now. So your table and field filter, those are still there, and those should feel familiar. The type filter and the status filter are new. The status filter actually used to be a sidebar link, and again, this just lets you toggle between do you want to see enabled forms, disabled forms, enabled and disabled forms? And then this type filter lets you sort of narrow down what kind of form you want to, or narrow down what kind of form you're looking at. So are you looking at an internal form, public form, view form, edit form, cover page, which again is going to be the very first page that you see when you go to a record? Do you want to see container forms or main forms? Do you want to see a subform, sibling form, or you can also see forms with errors? And then each of these options also has a little icon associated with it. And then this form type column, that corresponds to this type filter here. And so you will see the little icons from the type filter show up in that column. So again, you can easily visually see what kind of form you are working with. And again, you'll get a little tooltip to describe what the type of form is. You can edit the form through the meatball menu, and you can also open a random record right from the meatball menu. So I feel like that's a pretty convenient option. And I think with that, oh, one thing I want to mention is that the public form page link is now gone simply because you can filter by public form using the type filter now. I'll click on. Oh, actually, no, I want to see public forms because I now want to jump into a form customizer, and the particular form that I want to find is on the family case table. So I'm using the table filter, family case. And this is the form that I want to open. So I'm going to click on the meatball menu, edit form. I am taken to the form customizer view. So again, several different things to sort of mention here. We are deprecating a couple of options in form customizer, specifically the ability to add text at the top and at the bottom of a form. What this means is that if a form currently does have text at the top or at the bottom, you'll still be able to see it and you'll be able to edit it. But as soon as you take it away, there's no way to get it back. And this is because we want templates to be the main way to add messaging to forms. And there were just too many options before. And templates give users more formatting options as well, which is why we kept that and got rid of the other options. Another thing that we are deprecating is this email notification settings link. Again, if the form currently has that set up, you will still see the sidebar link. You'll be able to edit options. And what this link does is it'll notify whomever you want when a form is submitted, but that is easily done through an auto action. And so the reason why we deprecated it is, again, too many options to do the same thing. So again, if you do want to set up a notification when a form is submitted, you can do it through an auto action. I'm gonna scroll down a little bit here. If the form has subforms on it, you will see basic form properties in the format of icons again. So you can see the table structure, you can see again what kind of form it is with tooltips to describe the different icons. Previously, if you wanted to see any of the form properties, you would have to go to the meatball menu, edit subform. Now it's right there for your visibility. I think that is it for here. Now let's jump into advanced options and advanced form properties, because again, this screen got a renovation, a pretty big one too. The first thing I want to mention here is that the options have sort of been reorganized, and the section titles have been renamed again for clarity. And so hopefully it's easier to find stuff now. And also some of the field titles or some of the option titles have been renamed again for clarity, so it's more apparent what that option does. Um, Scrolling down to form, orientation, layout, and messaging. Because I previously mentioned that templates will be the only way to add messaging to forms now. You can set that in this section. And yeah, here are the options for template for header, template for footer. If you want to change it, you can click on it and yeah, and either set it or change it. If you know the title of the template, you can type that in here. Again, you can click on that little icon and view them all. I'm going to scroll down to public form settings and public form login screen settings. Yeah, I specifically want to talk about these two guys. So on a public form, you can set whether you want login to be optional, required, or no login at all. That used to be just in one option. Now it's sort of split up into two different options. And then we also got rid of the auto match setting, which in lieu of prompt end user to log in, because there were some issues with the auto match criteria, and the prompt end user to log in sort of did the same thing. It would it attempts when a end user logs in and their data is already in SAM, both of these will match information. This prompts end user to log in, it matches an email address that's already in the system. And the auto match, I believe, did email address and name. But again, this one works a little bit better. And so that's why we kept that one and got rid of the other one. And I think that's it to mention here. Next, I want to talk about the templates page, because this also got a little bit of a renovation for the release. Again, this was sort of renovated to look more like the forms page that we saw a little bit ago. Again, each of your sections are going to be in a collapsible card. So if you don't want to see templates based on family, you can click anywhere in the card header to hide them temporarily. Click it again, you'll see them. You still have your table and field filter, but this template used on this is a new filter, and it lets you again filter by where the template is used on. Is it used on auto actions? Is it used on the sidebar? Is it used on forms? Really as a template for header or for footer. So again, is it used for messaging on a form is basically this used on forms option here. And then similar to the forms page, this template used on has little icons, and there's this template used on column that'll display icons where the template is used. And again, it has tooltips. To edit the template, you can click the meeple menu, edit template. I'm trying to think if there's anything else here. Yeah, I think that is all I want to mention here. So I'm gonna go back to the home page. Okay, any questions,
No,
comments? No?
no.
Okay, and I actually believe that is all I wanted to talk about today as well.
Thank you. I'm gonna stop